lot of the time when people are stuck for time, they're working in the business and not on it.
Yeah. As we've grown into a 6-figure business, we still have a lot to learn because I think we want to produce more that allows us to be more. Our power team are people who help us to get to the next level in our business over and over and over again.
Because we've been through various different phases of what we thought we needed with accounting and what we actually needed. So
if you invest in something that's cheap, you will get cheap results. So don't pray for a 6-figure business if you ain't got 6-figure mindset. Welcome to the Property Project podcast, where we talk all things property, but also help you to resolve some of the dilemmas that you come up with.
But before you do that, we'd love if you could help us by liking the video, subscribing to our channel so you could get more content from us.
I'm running an Airbnb business and I have 3 properties so far. However, I'm struggling to scale up my business and I feel stuck. What would you recommend? There's so many things that you could recommend.
Yeah, that's what.
But it's about putting it in order, because I think that's where a lot of people.
Yeah, it's quite hard to say because it's definitely personalized to where you are at within your business, and I think that can always be the toughest thing to recognize, kind of where you're at in your business. So I think step 1 is understanding where your business is at. Are you at a stage where you are funneling in enough money? The rents that you've got at the moment are making stable income? Is it a thing where, you know, your business isn't doing too well and like you're in a rush to like get 4 more to see if it like levels everything out for you? Where are you at in your business? That's number 1. Number 2, where do you want to be in your business? Once you recognize those 2 things, you can then start to put in the things in between that are going to help you get from point A to B. That could look like getting a VA. And hiring a VA. I think people mistake what the purpose of a VA is, and I really appreciate. We went to a training with Jazz Rose, and that really taught us what would be useful for our business. And I think a specific thing that we took away was a virtual assistant, and we learned that a virtual assistant isn't just there to, you know, do the communications or the admin or that kind of side of stuff. It's also there to make sure that your business can grow and that it can take. You can give your VA the things that are time consuming so that you can grow the business on the things that are going to make you more money within the business and focus on the things that are going to generate you more money in the business. So I think also bringing in people is so hard. Like, I guess I'm struggling more so because it's so hard to tell somebody when you don't know where their business is at the moment.
Yeah.
But it could be a VA, like I've said. It could be about working with another investor or joining forces with somebody who already has a rented SA business who wants to also scale up but needs someone else or some other support to help them scale up. It may be about grinding for 6 months with non-stop at your 9-to-5 job and then putting away money and saving money so that you can have the capital to then take on additional properties.
Yeah.
It could be about getting a business loan. If appropriate for you and you know how to money manage and it's the right thing and you've got an advice around this and, you know, putting that into your business. It's hard to say how to scale up if you don't know where you are at in your business.
100%.
So, yeah.
I agree. And I think it all comes down to, again, what you said was, in essence, 1, we need to know where you are. And 2, it comes down to 2 things, whether you're stuck for time or for money. And if you're stuck for time, you need to find out why you're stuck for time. A lot of the time when people are stuck for time, they're working in the business and not on it.
Yeah.
And the way that you're going to be able to free yourself from that is looking at your network, being able to make use of people that are around you that can help free up your time, whether that is a lot of people. I've spoken to people that clean their own Airbnbs, which is great because you're saving money, but you are also spending enough time, like a lot of time.
Losing time.
And you have to weigh up whether the time that you're spending is worth the money that you're saving.
Yeah.
I've met people that, you know, fix maintenance things in their Airbnb. The same thing. You have to work out whether you have to juggle it because every situation is going to be different.
Yeah.
And if it depends on how many times are you having to put things on pause, because while you're fixing things in your Airbnb or while you are cleaning your Airbnb, you can't be working on your business or you can't be scaling, you can't be doing anything like that. Again, going back to it, on top of that, if you are stuck for money, as you said, joint venture partners, finding new ways to acquire properties in order to scale up. Well, a lot of what we've done is we've used joint venture partnerships on both sides, so being funded and doing the funding. We've also property managed as well, so managed properties for investors who don't have the time to manage an investment property. So we've done that as well, and that's how we've utilized our network in order to be able to get properties and scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about those types of things. You got to find out which one you're stuck with, and then start to put, you can, using this advice, you can push on from that, I feel.
Yeah. So I think to round it off, I guess, from what you said, what I've said, and putting it together, I think step one is knowing where your business is at and the stage that your business is at. I think step two is understanding the capital, whether you need capital, whether there's somebody else you need in order to kind of move forward. Do you need a joint venture partner? Do you need an investor? Is it that you're going to speak to mum and dad and see if they can give you some money? Are you speaking to your cousins, your next door neighbor, seeing who can really invest? And the third thing, deciding the strategy that is going to work to help you move forward. And that doesn't always have to be you taking on your own rent to rents. That could be deal sourcing. That could be property management. That could be, joining somebody else's course and providing, like becoming a mentor if you're established, or not a mentor, like someone else you can guide or support or oversee. Or you might want to be specific about your niche. Like you might want to focus more on staging, like you know how to stage rent to essays really, really well. I think that's a better example. And figuring out, I might charge 2K every time I'm staging a 4-bed property and offer my staging services because I know I'm really good at that. I know I can find really amazing deals. I also know I have time flexibility, which means I can get these properties staged in like 2 days, 3 days, a week. And so think of your niche, think what you're going to focus on, what strategy you're going to focus on to help you scale up. It does not have to be the strategy that you're using already in your business. You can use other things within your business, other strategies within your business to help you scale up. And probably those will be the things you need to help you scale the business if you're feeling a little bit stuck and unable to move forward. Fair to say?
I agree.
Wonderful,
I agree.
wonderful,
if you
wonderful.
don't listen to this advice, then I don't know if you... I don't know. No, I'm being serious. There's so many people out there that ask these types of questions, will get the answers, and then they don't put action to it.
True.
And then it just goes off in the wind, and then someone else catches that and takes the action, and then goes and gets successful off the same idea that came into your head. So yeah. That's that.
Nice.
Don't let that be you.
Boy, awkward. So I'm gonna try and lift the energy a little bit because I think we've been so busy this week.
Yeah.
It's been a chaotic week.
Yeah.
We've had to move this recording like a few times.
A few times.
And can I just say, sidebar, before we go into our actual main topic, how do parents do it?
What's that?
How do parents do it? Like, we just had our goddaughter over. She's delicious. Like, when you just want to just eat her face. She's just so delicious, right?
They need to make a candle that is just
smells a baby. Like, why does baby smell so nice? Like, what is it? What is the smell?
I don't know.
What is the smell? It's like literally from birth, they just smell so delicious. But anyway, literally just having her for a few hours today with us, and her parents were there. It's not even like I was like single-handedly dealing with her, but I don't know how parents do it, and I just wanted to take a moment to shout out parents, not just parents in business. I think that's amazing if you're a parent in business, but just a parent in general. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you cope. I don't know how you have energy. I don't know how you smell nice still. I don't know how you look great still. I don't know how you feed yourself. I don't know how you do it.
How you keep that sanity and that, the will to keep going.
Yeah.
Because, sorry, I'll cut you off.
No.
I was just even going to say, like, because when you were talking about how do people do it, and straight away my mind kind of went to, similar to the trials and tribulations that we've had in business, that we didn't know how we was going to do it, but we just did it.
Yeah.
But I do feel like when it comes to parents, you're looking after a child, so the margin for error is
slim, very slim,
It's very slim, and you still need to then again go work if that's what you're doing, build your business if that's what you're doing, learn, still eat, feed, and sleep, and look after a whole human being, as well as yourself,
plus your friends, plus your family.
Listen, and
plus maintaining all the relationships that you've got, like. It's crazy. Remembering to food shop, remembering to like clean your house. Like, I don't know how you guys do it, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because we don't know. Like, we only know from godparent duties.
We could give the child back.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not that I would want to. She's just so delicious.
But you know what I mean. Like, it just gets
so
to that point.
cute.
Like, if you're tired, you're just like, oh yeah. You know what?
Mom, Dad, where are you?
Where are you? Yeah,
but honestly, a big. I always say two types of people in business and in the rent space that I like completely. British word is coming. British slang.
Okay.
Give my hats to you.
How many hats have you got?
55. I give my hats to you. I give my hats off to you.
I take off my hat to you.
I take off my... Let me take off my hat for you. Yeah? Let me take off my hat for you. Two types of people.
Yeah.
Those who are in business on their own and parents who are in business.
Yeah.
You guys, I can only say, listen, you deserve your commodities.
Commendations. This is why I'm here. I'm here to just, pick up wherever you just
Book
slipped.
smart
You
was
know
not
what I mean?
my thing. It's not my thing.
It's all right. No,
That's okay.
keep going, man.
Yeah,
Keep
but
going.
you deserve your applause.
And your accolades.
Your accolades. She said, I know that one. You
know that
deserve
one.
your accolades for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like, honestly, I admire you guys. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you stay afloat, but I admire you guys. Single business owners and parents in business. You are amazing people, and I want you to be reminded of that today. If not any other day.
If you don't hear it enough,
yes,
you're hearing it right now.
Like, please just play this 10 seconds, a minute, whatever it is that we've been speaking about it to yourself each day, because you guys are actually amazing and you are doing amazing, and you're doing something that neither Sean or I could have done on our own. We know that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyways,
100%.
Anyways.
But yeah.
onto the topic of the day. So obviously a few months back we found out that we were a 6-figure business.
Yeah.
There's still a lot to learn, guys. And I actually did a video on our podcast page the other day. I don't know if you saw it, because you really should be like obsessed with the stuff that I release, but I'm not sure if you actually watched it. If you didn't, I'll show you a little bit later. But I was basically saying that when you are a 6-figure business, automatically people assume that you are rich. And what I'm seeing with 6-figure businesses is people living their lives in Dubai, people living their lives in, abroad, Thailand, like people go into different places, which is amazing, but everybody's business is different. And, whilst I adore and admire those people who are living the absolute dream on a 6-figure business, that's not always the reality. And it really does depend on what your business is focused on.
Yeah.
So it's so important for us to go into that a little bit today about what really does help you, number one, create a 6-figure business, but what also helps you to sustain it. And I guess, I'm going again, it's the ADHD, it's delivering, it's going, it's coming back again.
You
but
caught yourself.
the video that I said was shared was about having a 6-figure business but still feeling poor, because where's my Lamborghini? Where's my Lamborghini? And I think people don't say,
Yeah. I was even just gonna say, like, finish what you was gonna say. Sorry, because I was gonna say, like, we need to define what 6-figure business actually means. Because I feel like that's where a lot of people get confused with 6-figure business and actually making 6-figure profit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's a big difference. Again, when you've got your own business and it's successful, straight away people think freedom. You're living life on your own terms, and there's no bigger statement to make about you doing that than going on holiday or living abroad or living on your own terms. And we're living in a time now where a lot of people are emigrating from the UK. So people are moving and they're living somewhere else. And when people who are in their 9-to-5s or trying to achieve that or dream of achieving that, see that, straight away they're thinking, yeah, successful. But, and I'm not to say that that's not what whoever's
Success
doing that
looks like,
isn't successful, but you have to understand what that means for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might just be, that person that you've seen might just be on an extended holiday in Dubai. It might be just on an extended holiday in Bali or Thailand, but they've got to come back and take care of their situation at home.
Yeah, to make sure that they can still do those same things over and over again.
Yeah.
So, the aim is understanding how you can get your business to a 6-figure business. We are a 6-figure business technically, but I don't feel like a 6-figure business until we start generating the amounts that I feel allows us to live the life of financial freedom. I always say this, we are high earners. As a joint family household, we would be fine staying on our 9-to-5s.
My family.
You're not my family. You're not my family.
Just admit to them.
You're not my family.
Well, there's something on her hand that actually just like says
that's right.
Says otherwise.
I'm not taken till I'm taken. I'm joking.
Boo. But do we?
I think you're gonna see it in the vlog. Most of our followers know she's engaged. She's a wife. She's not a wife yet, but she will be. Suckers, losers.
She's still got a final test to take.
What's the final test?
Just carry on. Just live
He
your
keeps
life,
interrupting my thoughts. But yes, we are engaged. He made the right choice after 11 years. We won't go into it right now. I'll probably cover it in the next vlog, which you probably should watch because all of that information will be in there. But yes, that has been a life change. However, we're focusing on 6-figure businesses. Okay, that actually leads me. If you want a 6-figure business, you need to be having a 6-figure queen next to you.
Okay.
But that's not the point. We need to stay on task.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay on
Yeah,
task?
100%.
Okay, right. So, as we've grown into a 6-figure business, we still have a lot to learn because I think we want to produce more that allows us to be more. But as I was saying before you rudely interrupted me to let everybody know that we're engaged, I was saying that we are high earners. So it's quite hard for us to replace our income, or a lot harder than, someone who might be on 30K a year. Like it's not the same for us. So we find it a lot harder to replace, and we're a lot more skeptical about just leaving our jobs because there's only one, especially for you, there's only one type of way for you to get that income, which is legally, by the way. But in terms of how we did get there, I think that's important to outline. And the first one was creating a power team. Now, I know everyone hears this kind of term about power team in rent service accommodation, but it's not the power team that you probably are thinking of, which is like cleaners, this, that, and the other. Our power team are people who help us to get to the next level in our business over and over and over again. And that includes people like our accountants, our mentors, our, virtual assistants, people who can give us a level of expertise around our finance, people who are 10 steps ahead of us. Those are our power team. People who we trust, who have done it before or seen other people do it before, where they've dictated to them how to do it. Those are the people that are in our power team. I was putting a voice note into our free community chat, and a lot of people really appreciated that voice note, which I'm glad they did. And it was about making sure that you have the right accountant for you. And we went through a patch where we were talking about having an accountant. We got an accountant, amazing accountant, but we needed to get to the next level with our accounting. We needed to make sure that we were going in the right direction. We'd met that threshold months before we thought we'd met that threshold.
When you was talking about, we needed the right thing for accounting and idea, what are the different, because we've been through various different phases of what we thought we needed with accounting and what we actually needed. So I'm just kind of asking you to shed some light on what those phases were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we thought that getting an accountant, they're just going to see everything that we do and write it down and tell HMRC that this is what they owe off. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? We just thought it was going to be autonomous and everything was just going to be hands off. But we've kind of learned that there's certain things that we need to do, and there's certain, from what we want to do, there's so many phases in between that we need to go through before we can even get to that point of where we want our finances to be or our accounting to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think in terms of the stage, so I can explain from where we started. So at the beginning, we thought that all we needed was somebody who's going to do the numbers for us and then submit it to HMRC so that we knew whether or not we owed tax, didn't owe tax, etc. That was loose, and we got loose support. So because we didn't know what we wanted, we ended up getting loose support with it not being tailored to our needs and like moving our business into the right direction. The second time that we found an accountant, we found a really, really good accountant, but we didn't apply the services that we needed to make our business go to the next level as well. So it wasn't progressing with us is the right term to use actually. So the accountant is and we still use the same accountant, is brilliant, but we weren't clear on what we needed. And I think we were suffering behind the scenes because the accountant was doing the general accounting, but it wasn't progressing. It wasn't moving with our business, which our business was growing. It was funneling and is funneling a lot of money. There were moments where we were experiencing a lot of losses, and there were moments where we experienced a lot of income, and it wasn't matching that. So I think a lot of people might struggle to identify what it is you need your accountant to do. And essentially it is to help you grow with your business. It is financially to foresee what is going to happen with your business if you go exit left or you go exit right.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have an accountant who's able to do that with you, or if you don't open your mouth and say that's a service that you require, it's very easy to get lost in your business with that kind of setup. But now we're in a space where we've literally just spoken with our accountant. They've sent us like a new contract where we're going to now have things included, such as like weekly
meetings,
advice, check-ins, to-do lists, to-do tasks. And then we have monthly reviews so that we know what we want to achieve. So if we're saying to our accountant, listen, we just joined up with this in March, by September, this is what we would like to see. We'd like to be in a Lamborghini. I don't really care about cars, so that's a lie. But, you know, that's what I would like. He needs to then tell me, he or she, whoever your accountant is, needs to tell me how I'm going to get there. And if that's possible with my current business. It's no point in you telling me, yeah, you can get that if you just funnel 800,000 in your business in the next 4 months. But you know, I'm literally making 2p a day. Do you know what I mean? If I'm making 2 pence a day, I'm not going to be able to make, unless I make a real smart, drastic change, it's unlikely I'm going to start making £800,000 a month. So how can I get from, I'm now making 50,000 a month, how do I get to doubling that, making 100,000 a month? What do you need to see from me? What do I need to reduce? What do I need to move forward on? What's generating me the most money in my business? Because they'll be able to tell you those things. I can see from your mentorship group, you're making X. I can see from your rent to rent, you're making X, which means you need to lose these 2 properties because these 2 properties are costing you. That's the kind of stuff that you need to be hearing from your accountant. And that's really important from your power team. Yeah?
Yeah, I do feel like, again, the reason why we opted to add and take on the services of our accountant was more so because, let's even roll the tape back a bit. When we paid for training, we were told that we would be able to claim back on this money. We were never told how to actually do that. And again, even when we did find our first accountant and they just gave us the most basic advice or service that we
less
had
than
at
basic,
that time.
to be honest, but
Yeah, like again, we didn't know that, you know, there might be time frames where you can claim back training, or there's certain things that you have to do in order to do that. Now, that comes with, again, the extra services that you have to pay for with an accountant, right? But again, sometimes a lot of people will kind of shy away from that because they're seeing, if you pay for an accountant, you're not seeing, okay, yeah, this is straight directly an investment. This is what's going to get me in my dream home or living my dream life or in my dream car. But indirectly, it is. It's something that is going to be able to teach you how to manage your finances. You can't manage your finances the same way how you've been doing, because that way's not working and you haven't been tracking your finances in order to find out what you're profiting, what you're losing. Even something as much as petrol, how to claim back on petrol that
you've got to have a whole notebook. People don't realize you've got to have a whole system in place. Like, it's really, really hard. Like, I feel like unless you're asking those specific questions, you're not going to be getting those specific answers. There's a lot, like you said, when they spoke about the training, I thought that it was going to be about literally having money returned back to you in your pocket. That's not the case. It's just like a written off fee. It sounds like, again, still so much learning around it, but
which is pointless if you aren't making profit.
Exactly.
And again, that's something that they don't tell you.
Exactly.
I mean? All these things that you claim or you write off is taken away from any profits that you make. If you're not making any profits, there's nothing to write off.
Exactly. So I think those kind of things are really important. And what we haven't touched on like immensely is also a mentor. Listen, there are like 1 out of a million who can do things on their own and don't need mentorship. If you're somebody, I feel like actually that's even a lie. There's a lot of people who can do it without mentorship. However, if you want to do it and do it fast and do it like whilst maneuvering without having to make many mistakes, you need a mentor. A lot of people try to overstep that.
Take a shortcut kind of.
Yeah,
okay.
They try to take the shortcut, and all it's going to get you is shortcut results. I always say, like, and this is like a new motto of mine, it's like, if you invest in something that's cheap, you will get cheap results. If you invest in something that's expensive, you'll get expensive results, because it's about the quality, not always about the price. It's about, if I want to get a gardener to come and do my garden and I pay somebody £50 when I know damn well it costs about £250 to get the garden done, but somebody else is advertised at 50, I'm going to go with 50. Don't get upset if nothing grows in your garden. Don't get upset because that person just dug up, because they're probably not even specialized. It's probably the first time they've done the garden, whatever. But if you're paying, it costs 250 and you end up paying, let's say, 350 for it, because this person specializes in gardens. They do it 15 times a week. going to somebody's house to do their gardens, you are going to get £350 worth of a garden because they have now shown you their expertise. It's not going to take them long. They know all the things that need to be done. They can look at your garden and know that what needs to happen to it. And I think it's the same thing as a mentor. You can do it by yourself if you like, if you've got all the years in the world and you're not really worried about time running out, or, you know, if you don't care about time. I care about time because time is important to me, and time is what I want to make back. I want to get that back. I've lost so many years in this life not really realizing the importance of moving forward. But either way, a mentor is someone who is important to guide you. The next thing as well is making sure that you hire fast and you fire faster, which is something that we're still learning because it really does cost you. Like, hiring someone and then not being able to fire them because you feel too bad or you're worried leaves you in a space where
it damages your business.
It damages your business. And it's wasting money. You're wasting money. Like, and you wouldn't do that for anything else.
You want to be a nice person.
Do you know what I mean?
You want to be a nice person, or you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But it's like, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, but their actions and their work rate and their workload is affecting your business. So it's like, really and truly, you not doing what you need to do is affecting your business. Yeah. And sometimes you have to learn, this is a skill that you have to learn to be cutthroat with. Regardless, you can still be a nice person and empathetic to people's situations, but get across that, you know, you're not meeting threshold for what we need for our company, right? Because again, a lot of the time when these things are challenged, it's based on emotion, and it is kind of a thing where with emotion, you're telling someone, oh, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And now it becomes a thing where we're now arguing about, you know, how we feel, right? When you talk to people about these types of things and you're actually going by facts and figures, okay, this is what we're measuring you by, your, was it KPIs, your key performance indicators. This is what we're measuring you by. This is what your figures are. You haven't met that. No one can argue with that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're now telling me that I'm wrong based on facts and figures, you just then like start to look a little bit silly. So yeah, I feel like that's definitely something that we like anything, we learn and we struggled with, we've learned, we've had lessons, and we've had times where we've done exactly what we set out to do and we've seen the positive effects of it. But then it's just making sure that, you know when to give a little bit of grace to some people who are in your business, if you could see how they can improve on what the situations are. But you also need to understand when to let that person go. And the longer that you're holding on to that time, not letting them go, you are hurting your business.
Yeah. To kind of give you an example of that as well, just a real quick one. We had someone who did property management with us at the early stages of our business when we knew that it was going to be hard to juggle. Like, we couldn't juggle it with our own 9-to-5s. We needed somebody additional, and we had somebody who came in, and it was so hard to let this person go because we wanted to grow with them and we wanted them to grow with us. And they were proving every day reasons why we shouldn't keep them on the team. But because we were just so invested in this person and we wanted to see the good in them, we wanted to see them perform, we wanted to see them kill the space, we wanted to just see them achieve. And they didn't want that for themselves, but we were like forcing it. We were like, you can do this. Every time they would disappear for months. It actually ended with them disappearing and not saying a word to us.
To this day, we still haven't heard anything
to us. And it hurt. Like, it genuinely hurt. And that's why they always tell you, any decisions that you make within business, don't make with your heart, make with your head. Because once you make a decision with your heart, you feel connected to that thing. And it's hard to make hard, crucial decisions for that specific thing. And it was hard for us, especially, I think, with me as well, to make a decision with that person to no longer have them in the business. And at the end of the day, they ended up making that decision for us, but it shouldn't have even got there. It should have been, you're not right for this team. We love you. We support you. We really want to see you grow. We know what you can achieve if you were to be your full best and deliver the way that we see that you have the potential to deliver, but you can't do that here. Yeah. And when you're ready and you're ready to show us what you can achieve, come back and we'll see what we can do.
Exactly. I was even just going to say, like who knows, having that conversation before probably would have allowed for us to have an open and honest chat and relationship in order to maybe find another role for them or still be in contact to help them with their progress. Yeah. But again, that didn't happen. On our side, we didn't fire them fast enough for their own good as well as ours. And just now we're in this scenario where we've got an ex-property manager who to this day
we ain't heard from. But apparently these things happen. But yeah, definitely hire fast and fire faster.
Yeah.
The next thing or things to put together is scaling up rapidly but steadily, / not using your own money. So one thing that we learn is that in order to get more income, you need to get more properties. It's just simple maths, man. Like, I'm not strong at maths, but simple maths. So it's one of those things where if you're on 3 properties at the moment and you want to be making X amount of income, let's say $3,000 a month, you want that to be coming in, you need to know how many properties that is going to require for you to get there. So if you're currently making, let's say £500 and you've got 3 properties, you know that you need X amount of properties to get you to that $3,000 property mark, whatever it is, maybe 6 more, 8 more, 10 more, whatever it is. Then you have to decide how you're going to get there, which should be not using your own money. The reason for that is if you're using your money, it takes longer. What you can do is use your money for one, invest with somebody else. Use your money for one, invest with somebody else. But relying on your own money, if you have a pot of money or a flow of money,
A pool.
if you don't have a pool of money, thank you, can really be an issue because it's like you're always waiting for the money to come in first before you can do anything. But also, if you have that kind of money and you can just invest in loads of rent-to-rents, you probably should be doing flips or BRRs or something. I wouldn't tell you to go into rent-to-rent. So I'm guessing you're in the rent-to-rent space because you have less than 15K in your pocket. But yeah, you need to be getting out there and you need to be working with somebody else who can help you invest and help you to grow your business in a way that's rapid but steady. You don't want to be taken on rent-to-rents if 15 of your rent-to-rents out of the 16 are not doing well. If you've got 10 rent-to-rents and 8 are doing well and 2 are struggling, continue to scale. If you have got 10 rent-to-rents and 6 out of those properties are not doing well and only 4 are doing well, stop what you're doing. Make sure that you get yourself in a method where your properties are doing well and they're all achieving, and then scale again. So that's something that you've also got to think about. And the final thing is understand that with this kind of lifestyle, with a 6-figure business lifestyle, comes sacrifices. And not enough, we were talking about this the other day and I'll keep it short and sweet. Not enough people want to sacrifice anymore. Yeah. I keep hearing, hard work's not my lifestyle. Like, I want to make the money, but I don't want to have to do the work. Like, genuinely, I know there's some people sitting there thinking, but who would actually say that? Like, that's so silly to say. People actually say that to me. Like weekly, we get this kind of message of like people saying, I really want to get rent-to-rent money, get into the rent-to-rent space, but I'm really like worried about the hard work and how long it's going to take me to do it and like what that's going to mean for me. It means that sometimes you're going to look scruffy as hell and you're going to not have a haircut. You're not going to be able to get your nails done. You're not going to be able to get your lashes done. You're not going to be able to get your hair done. It might be that sometimes when your friends are going out on a trip or they decide that they want to go on a group holiday, you might not be invited and not be able to go to that. It might be that your parents, your family, your cousins, your siblings might be telling you we don't get to see you enough and that you don't care about the family anymore because you're sacrificing what time you do have to focus on the business. It might be that your work, your 9 to 5 is being jeopardized or you're really worried. Like, I'm a social worker. I went through times, and I'll be really completely honest, where I was worried about how I was practicing because I was focusing on 2 things. It's a serious job. And I'll always prioritize, the safety of people that I'm working with. But at the same time, I know that it's difficult to manage those. So understand that with this comes sacrifices. So again, just to round up, you want to be thinking about your power team. You want to be thinking about hiring fast and firing faster. You want to be thinking about making sure that you can scale up rapidly but steadily and not having to use your own money to do so. And then finally, you want to understand the sacrifices that comes with. If you're wanting, people will pray for things they don't necessarily know how that will turn up for them. So don't pray for a 6-figure business if you ain't got 6-figure mindset. Don't pray for a Lamborghini if you know that you can't
handle the maintenance that comes.
Handle the maintenance, the money, the issues, people wanting to steal your car being flashy enough for people to want to take pictures next to it, to people touching your car, invading in your space. Understand that when you pray for certain things or you ask for certain things, that it comes with something else. It's not just the Lamborghini is going to turn up and it's going to be perfect. And understand that. Hopefully that helps people who are in the next stage of their business who are wanting to scale up. That's really what we specialize in. We understand there's loads of people teaching rent to rent and, being better in the rent to rent space, but it's also about being able to scale up. That's the main thing for us. That's where we felt our passion came in, scaling up our business, how we did it. We've kind of like flattened out again because we're at the stage where before we get to the next level, we need to have everything in check. And that's where we're kind of at.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully you're able to step into the next stage of the 6-figure business gang. And again, like we always say, if you have any questions, if there's anybody you want to reach out to, we are your people. We don't bite. We are friendly. Make sure you ask those questions to us, because closed mouths don't get
fed. But yeah.
We're going to end it on the fed.
We're going to end it on that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right then.
Thank you for watching to the end, guys. We really appreciate it. As a little thank you gift to you, we'd like to give you an invite to join our free WhatsApp community where we drop a lot of gems.
If you're still watching, then thank you so much. But more importantly, if you could like and subscribe to this channel to help us bring you more content that we know you'll just love.